Now, we know how important, non-sexual touch and physical touch is in relationships because this is something that builds trust, it builds safety. When we experience physical touch, especially from a person we love, that is firing off those hormones, the oxytocin. It's again centralizing and calming down the nervous system. So physical touch can be such an important, critical, crucial part of relationships.
I'm Rachel, and you're listening to the Owning Your Sexual Self podcast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back for a little solo cast. It's been a minute since I've just popped on here, and I have some exciting topics that I've planned to record on today, so I hope that you enjoy them. Today's topic, I want to share some ways with you actually to explore non-sexual touch and give you some ideas around some non-sexual touch related intimacy dates that you can have because this is a point in relationships that really, really matter. This is your intimacy without expectation. It's the nervous system regulation. It's the bonding, the quality time impact, all of that. And so, this is going to be a really good resource for couples that maybe are feeling some disconnection in your relationship and maybe you're wanting more of that physical closeness without that pressure. I've been hearing a lot from clients that I'm working with, and actually this thing that I'm sharing with you today is something that I created for a client specifically because they're working on bringing physical touch back into the relationship without it having that pressure of it leading to sex. Now, I have a guest coming on. Vanessa and Xander Marin are actually coming onto the show here next month to record about the bristle effect in relationships. So you're going to hear about the bristle effect more in detail when I have them on the show, which I am just so excited about. I'm already fangirling about it. I cannot believe that they said yes to coming on the show. And so I want to talk more about the bristle effect there, but essentially the bristle effect is that when partners, and generally it's the lower desire partner in the relationship, when they start to sort of like tense up when their partner comes in with that physical touch. And it's generally linked because they think, oh, okay, I'm not in the mood right now. So instead of, if I tense up, right, that's going to be that cue that I'm not in the mood, I'm not wanting sex, I don't want this to go any further. And it's often stemming from that fear that if I engage, if I kiss you, if I cuddle with you, if I kiss you for too long, even, or if we make eye contact, if we hug for too long, right? All of these things that also could be considered, non-sexual touch, that if we do those things for too long, it's essentially going to lead on our partner to thinking that we want more. And so then over time, that lower desire partner tends to just shut down physical contact altogether. Now, we know how important, non-sexual touch and physical touch is in relationships because this is something that builds trust, it builds safety. When we experience physical touch, especially from a person we love, that is firing off those hormones, the oxytocin. It's again centralizing and calming down the nervous system. So physical touch can be such an important, critical, crucial part of relationships. And so I wanted to bring you these ideas today that are, again, sort of like date night ideas that you guys can incorporate into your relationships that don't involve any sort of like sexual touch specifically. And this is actually many of these aren't even going to involve physical touch at all because what I'm giving you here is going to be that build up. This can be building up that energetic connection. This can be building up that, again, that safety and that trust with somebody that, hey, like we can just be in this space, like we can go very slow. We can spend intentional time together without it having to lead to something more. And that is so again critical in relationships. I can't tell you how many really women specifically that I have that are coming into working with me that are feeling immense pressure from their partners. Sometimes it is coming from their partners, sometimes it is more internalized, but regardless, that pressure is there. And so this is leading her to feeling shut down and not instilling that closeness with her partner. And So again, this very normal. This is a common thing that happens over time, and it is normal for people also to crave that closeness, but it feeling again like that when basically you want to unlink that touch equals sex. That's what we're doing here. And so, kind of just going over some common blocks or misunderstandings with people. I hear a lot that, again, that fear that touch will have to lead to sex, right? Like if I lead them on or if I give the wrong message, right, I'm going to end up having to have sex. And let me just like put my pin in this right here. I never recommend somebody just giving into sex for the sake of somebody else's gain or desire. I think there's a different way of going about that. I don't think that either partner should ever kind of just be in the take one for the team sort of sense when it comes to intimacy. I think it should be something that is agreed on by both partners and each partner is fully involved and engaging in that sexual experience. So then also the struggles with initiating or receiving affection. This is also super common as a block for people too in relationships. We feel that struggle, again, that pressure buildup around initiating intimacy, or again, on the other side, sometimes receiving affection. There are some people that, if we're dealing with feelings of low self-worth, low self-confidence, low self-esteem, there sometimes we have this underlying fear or feeling rather that we don't deserve to be loved. We right, our love is dependent on me doing something, right? Like I only receive love if I do this. And so that is a common one too. You have also the mismatches of touch in love language. So I hear from clients all the time, like, his number one love language is physical touch, and my number one love language is quality time or words of affirmation. But usually from that other partner, it's like, I'm not even thinking about physical touch. So what am I supposed to set an alarm? Like, what am I supposed to do to remind myself to give my partner physical touch? So again, these ideas can really help with that as well. There's also past traumas that people are experiencing, past traumas that people might be holding on to, or body image issues that can also make physical touch and closeness really challenging for some as well. So just a reminder that it is okay to start slow. It is okay to start building safety towards these things. And so if you wanted to build conversation with your partner around this, you could express a desire for more of that non-sexual connection. So you might say something like, I miss being close to you without the pressure of it going any further. Or can we practice just cuddling or holding hands more often? Setting intentions around exploration and going into that with curiosity and again, building comfort. That can be really good ways of being able to frame this with a partner. Again, so you're doing in that in a less defensive way or chance of defensiveness coming up rather. All right, so let me get into my ideas here. So this is definitely invitations, right? These are not a checklist. We can break into these. You can take these, you can leave them. I did break them up by emotional and intellectual intimacy dates. I have spiritual and energetic intimacy dates. I have creative intimacy dates, playful intimacy dates, and I think that's all. So I got 20 ideas for you. Also, you can go to once by the time that this episode is live, I'll have this as a freebie on my website. So you can go over to rachelmaine.com, go under the resources tab, and you'll be able to get the full download of this as well. It's going to give you the idea. I'll just go over actually a couple of them here so that way I'm not talking your ear off with all these different ideas. I'll just expand on a few that I really like. And then you can get the full download on the website when you're ready. So again, this is creative and meaningful ways to connect without the component of physical touch, which then hopefully I'm hoping for you builds that connection and that trust and that safety with your partner that then can perhaps open you more to the idea of physical touch when you feel ready. Or again, for a lot of us, we need that emotional intimacy that has such deep impact on us. So for those of you that need that emotional intimacy or that's something that's important to you, this could be the sort of the gateway to then this leading into physical intimacy. All right, so starting with the emotional and intellectual intimacy dates, There are this is a quick and easy one. There are tons of games out there. Target, Amazon, Meijer, Walmart, wherever you want to go to your board game section and you will find a ton of games that are couples related. So there's like the We're Not Really Strangers couples edition. Um, that's the only one that's coming off the top of my head right now, but I know there's so many that you can check out. But these are designed actually to help deepen that connection where you just are able to answer a few questions with your partner. If you have ChatGPT, you could go to ChatGPT and say, "Hey, give us 20 questions tonight to, spark intimate conversation," or twenty questions that couples can playfully ask back and forth to each other. With ChatGPT, if you haven't used it yet, you really got to train it. You really got to be specific with what it is that you're asking. And if it spits you out something that you don't like, say, "Hey, can you give me 20 more that have more of this tone, or maybe that are a little bit more spicier, or, whatever that you want." But the one that I really like here is creating a story timeline of us. And this I just think is so cute. This could be something that you do together, almost like creating a vision board together, but what you're doing together, you could get magazines, you could get books, you could print stuff off on the computer, whatever you want, get a big poster board. You could do this digitally if you wanted to, but you're essentially creating a visual timeline of your relationship. So you're going to go through and talk through the milestones, any inside jokes that you have, any hard seasons that you were able to navigate through, favorite memories, vacations, kids, marriage, engagement, like all those things. And so you're creating this collage essentially of the story of us. I think that is so cute. And so I hope you enjoy that one. You could also do your gratitude letters. And so sometimes, especially around like birthdays and holidays and things like that, I find myself, I really love to get deep in my feels and write Danny, my husband, just some really cute things on words. I can, if I let myself go there, I can be very expressive through my writing. And so writing letters to each other, and if you wanted to even read them out loud to each other or read them to each other, that can make it even more impactful for you if you want to deepen that connection. Because you're stepping into the space of vulnerability there a little bit more. But you're really with these like really focusing on who you are now, not just focusing on the things of the past. You can reminisce on those past things, but focusing on the now, really giving gratitude for your person and your relationship for where it is now. I think this is also an exercise too, again, for those couples that might be struggling to find the connection or just feeling really disconnected. If you give yourself that challenge of gratitude, it helps you seek out those things and find those things that you're grateful for when you really give yourself time to sit down and think about it. Um, Also in this one, the highs and lows walks, being able to go for a walk with each other and you're sharing three highs and three lows with each other from your week. There's no fixing, you're just listening, you're just holding space with each other. And I really love the idea of doing this while you're on a walk because you're getting your body moving, you're getting blood flow, you're out in nature, you're outside. That just has such an overall impact on the body as well. And this can be just a nice like activity to be able to do together with your partner. Okay, so then we're going to get into the spiritual and energetic intimacy date ideas. You've probably heard me talk about eye gazing before on the podcast here. Eye gazing is such a wonderful opportunity for you and your partner to connect eyes, sync your breath together. So you're going to sit facing each other and you're going to breathe in together. Try this for at least 1 minute minimum, but if you can go for 5 minutes, even longer if you wanted to, this can be an incredibly grounding practice that just speaks to the person of like, I see you, I feel you, I'm here with you, thank you, I love you, right? And so you don't even need to say anything throughout this if you don't want to. You could introduce some prompts to share back and forth. So when I lead couples through eye gazing practice, I'll give them prompts such as, I admire you for, I love you so much because, what I'm most attracted to you is, or what I'm most attracted about you is da da da. And so you could do some things back and forth like that if you wanted to. Okay, then there is music mapping. I think this is also a good one for the creative people. And so you're creating and sharing playlists that represent your current state. So you can play them together and then you could share why you picked each of those songs. So this could be a fun exercise to do. If you have Spotify, also you could create a playlist together. And so you could, whoever has the Spotify account, you could invite each other so you have that shared playlist with one another. Um, this is pretty common if you want to make a sex list together. You could each add songs for your sex list if you want like a slow sex, if you want like a ratchet sex. I don't know. Like there's definitely a difference in the vibe with the sex list. Our sex list is definitely a good mixture of all of the things, so it can get a little crazy sometimes when we decide to tap into that one. um, all right, so those two are my favorite on there. I also love, I keep seeing it, and this is more into the creative intimacy dates, but I keep seeing the like painting each other. So you paint your partner. I think that is a super cute idea, or even just painting side by side with no rules. Or I like the you each get 2 minutes to paint something and then you switch canvases and then 2 minutes more to paint something, you switch, and then it's like so you're creating something together. I think that is super, super fun. I also love the creating a story together. So if you, especially if you're someone that is into reading erotica, same thing, like go into your phone, either go into your notes app and share that note with your partner if you both have iPhones, or you could do this in a Google Doc, whatever works for you. But basically, you're creating a shared note together and you're building that story. This could be, again, pick your flavor here. This could be a love story that you're writing together. This could be a spicy little erotica story that you're building together. This could be you're each writing out a fantasy together. And so, you're taking turns adding, you're going back and forth. So this again could be playful, this could be romantic, but this really gives you space to let the imagination lead here. And I love this one, especially for my long distance couples. I think that this is actually all of these really could be good for long distance couples, but I love this one's to get, especially for those that are wanting to bring in more intimacy in their long distance time. So yeah, I think that one's super cute. I won't say anymore, but writing a story together, I think that that could be super, super fun. Okay, what else? I mean, scrapbooking, memory journal, making a mocktail or a cocktail together. Actually, I just finished the book, Till Summer Do Us Part. Super cute by Megan Quinn. I would recommend it. It was a really fun summer read. Got some good smut in there. And in that book, they had to invent a drink together and then they had to name it. And they had to use ingredients and name it based on their relationship. And so they created a drink called the prickly pear because why did they choose the prickly pear? Oh, prickly pear, P-A-I-R, but it did have pear flavor in it, which I thought was really cute. Also, sorry, spoiler if you are going to read the book. But I thought that was really cute. And so that was a reflection of their relationship, just kind of being a little rocky in that moment. And then now that they're coming back together as a pair, they did tequila in there. I mean, yeah, I won't give it all away, but um, I think that this could be really fun. So making two drinks together so that you could toast. Maybe you want to set an intention to that toast. Drink them together. Again, mocktail or cocktail, whatever is your flavor. Um, okay, and then finally getting into these playful intimacy dates. So very fun. The would you rather, the never have I ever's. I think those could be super popular. I have the idea on here of dressing each other, and so you could pick out funny outfits for each other, or do like a little mini fashion show with each other, a photo shoot, doing something like a talent show together, creating a bucket list jar, or again, it's a little spicier, a sex bucket list jar if you wanted to have a podcast on that. If you want to go back and listen to that, I had Janae on the show with me to discuss creating a sex bucket list. Um, just trying something random together. Like Danny and I, we we are not soccer people at all. We won one. We got tickets in a Secret Santa gift between our siblings for Christmas, and it was two tickets to the Detroit City Soccer Club event here in Michigan, and we went with them and had a freaking blast. And we just went to our second game on Friday night, just him and I together, And I looked over at him. I was like, I love that we're doing this because none of us grew up playing soccer. None of us really like fully know the sport of soccer all that well. We did both watch Ted Lasso together and loved it. Like, highly recommend if you haven't watched Ted Lasso. And now we're like we have all this soccer swag, the DCFC, let's go. We sat on the city supporter side for this game on Friday night, so we're like screaming and cheering and chanting, and it is just, if you've never been to like a soccer game, like it gets pretty hype. And then afterwards I'm like getting autographs from the players. Like, it was such a fun time. And I remember saying to him during the game, I was like, this is so fun. Like, this is something that I feel like is one of the things that we're actually learning together for the first time. And so it's just both been really kind a little bit out of our comfort zone, but just definitely something new. We know that we're both sports people, but soccer again was not something that I probably would have rolled my eyes if somebody asked me to go to a soccer game in the past. But yeah, it's anyway. So creating something, doing a cooking class, a drawing class, I don't know, origami. Like, what do you like to do? What sounds interesting to you? And if you don't want to go somewhere, you could totally look things up on YouTube. DIY creative ideas or something like that. At home karaoke might be another fun one that you could do. And yeah, bonus, if you want to make it cute and sweet, you could pick a song that reminds you of your partner. So I hope that these are good. I hope these kind of got your mind juggling, racing. I don't know. Hopefully, this maybe created some excitement or maybe sparked some excitement for you in your relationship again. And if you wanted to close these rituals and close these connection nights and these intimacy date nights, you could end them with just a quick share back and forth with each other. I think that this also can make impact on it, especially for those of you that might be feeling that pressure to perform or pressure for things to lead to sex. So you could share with your partner, I got some sentences. So one thing I appreciated about you tonight was, one thing I'm taking away from the experience is, thank you for showing up with me. And so that could be, again, just a nice little reflection point to allow your partner to say, like, I see you, again, I hear you, I'm with you, I feel you. And again, building that trust and safety with each other. So just reminders that this is about connection. This is not about perfection. This is like, if let's say you do the painting and the paintings totally suck. Who cares? Like, it is really about the connection. It's about having that shared experience with somebody that you love. And even these small shifts can create emotional safety and really, really open the door for that deeper intimacy. And so I just want to validate any resistance or discomfort that may have came up when sharing some of these ideas. Maybe some of these were not in your wheelhouse or not your cup of tea, and that is totally, totally fine. But I would love to hear from you if you're listening to this episode. I'd love to hear from you what you're trying, or if you take pictures and you want to tag me on social media that you're trying these date night ideas. I would love to hear from you. If you have other ideas that you and your partner love to do, and I can add them to my list, I'd like to hear those too. So again, you can find the non-sexual intimacy dates at rachelmaine.com under the resources tab. There's a ton of other resources under there as well. But I hope that you enjoyed this. Let me know if you have any questions. Thank you for continuing to listen to this show. And I think that's all I got for you today. Have a good one, guys.
Thank you so much for listening to today's show. If you loved it, be sure to subscribe so that you never miss an episode. And if you really fucking loved it, make sure to tag me on social media at the Rachel Maine. I'll see you next week.